Clinton used to get, every single night, President Clinton,
FBI,
and the FBI guy wrote a book.
FBI doesn't take care of the president. It's a secret service.
No, but this guy's job was that every single person that the Clintons were going to bring into the White House, he had to investigate them, to do a background check on them, to make sure that they're not going to didn't do something wrong in their past, that there should be a scandal for the president. Yes, so that was his connection with the White. So he writes in his book.
Did they have to check these women?
No. Stop. No, they didn't.
Okay.
No, he checked them. So he writes in his book. He writes in his book that every single night, Clinton would come out from the servants' quarters. The presidential car would be brought up. He would lay down in the back seat of the car. They would drive off. They took him to the next rendezvous. And she stayed married to him, even though she knew he was doing that. Why did she still stayed married to him, even when she was caught? Of course she knew.
Why did he have to
Because what? He didn't die. Well,
Why did he have to duck?
because the people should know. The FBI agent who wrote the book about him should know, and then we should buy the book, and everyone in the country should find out about him. And then Monica Lewinsky, Monica Lewinsky and Pamela Jones, and they said, why don't you, President, why are you going to trial with these women? Why don't you just settle with them and give them some money to shut up? He said, because there's so many of them. He run out of money.
Really?
And she stayed marrying him. She went as a first lady. She went to Japan. And the Japanese women humiliated. They said, if our husband did that, Mama, we caused him to kill himself. But she stayed married. Why'd she stay married to him? Because she knew, because that was, she's got a ticket to ride. She had a ticket to ride. She was going to ride him to now she's every lie she can say in the world. Anything she can do, she'll say anything. She'll tell you, the secret of Coca-Cola. She'll do anything she can to get into the White House again. Yeah, she'll do anything. That's the same thing. The people who just came in, they came in the middle of what we were talking about. We're talking about stop. We're talking about how stop. We started about Achashverosh. Be quiet. I take that out of the film now. Achashverosh. He ended up saying, "Can you do me a favor? Can you just do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Just be quiet, please. Okay? Okay, stop. Okay, so Baruch Hashem, Bli Ayin Hara, you should, Cain Yerbo should have more pimples. Anyway, listen, ready? The point is that Achashverosh, the reverse, Achashverosh married Vashti, like Mrs. Clinton married Mr. Clinton, because both of them were their tickets to ride to fame and to become famous people. He rode Vashti, I shouldn't say that, but he took Vashti all the way to the kingdom, to the palace. Yes? So the fact that... the thing they could be. You ready? Oh my, ready? Okay. I didn't hear what you say. What you say? It's too much for me. You ready? What are you going to say? Tell me. Okay, idiot. Okay. Idiot. This one's not going to make it onto the YouTube. Anyway. Okay. I don't know. He needs tranquilizers.
I don't know why you asked.
Ready? We go.
You need an elephant tranquilizer.
Okay. So let's back to reality. So the thing is that how did Hashem manipulate that the most important person in Achashverosh's wife, which was Vashti, which was his claim to fame, as long as he's married to royalty, he has a claim to be in the emperor's palace, how he ended up putting her to death. But Hashem arranged that. And it says Hashem was able to work it out that it should happen. And it says after these things, after Achashverosh remembered Vashti, he remembered what she had done, he remembered what had been decreed against her. So the whole thing is Achashverosh was planning the great thing to be able to, he wanted to accomplish two things at his party. He had a 187-day party to accomplish two things. To prove to the world he had a right to be the emperor of the world, and to get the Jews to do Averis, to get the Jews to do sins. How is he going to do that? At the 187th day of the party, which was Shabbos, Vashti should come out unclothed, wearing the king's crown. And all the women come in with her. If he was able to do that, he can prove to everybody, if I can make the great-granddaughter of Nebuchadnezzar do that, he has a right to be the king. And at the same time, she comes in naked, all the women come in, all big Averis happen, all sins happen, and the Jewish people are there. Hashem hates immorality more than any Avera there is there, and Hashem will bring punishment against the Jewish people if they're roped into immorality. That was his grand plan. But what if the whole plan was spoiled? The whole plan didn't work out. And that's the pasuk says. He remembered what Vashti did. What did she do? She used to, on Shabbos, have Jewish young girls come to her palace to do work on Shabbos, to clean the palace while they were undressed.
Why?
She was humiliating them because she was jealous of the Jewish people, as all the people who are anti-Semitic are jealous of the Jewish people, and either they're gonna, they had to deal with their jealousy, and one of the ways they deal with the jealousy is to attack the Jewish people. And the Jewish girls were better than her, and more beautiful than she was, and more sophisticated than she was, and more charming, and a kedusha, holiness that she didn't have. So she had to humiliate them, and that's what she did. Yes? And so that's what she did, that's what he remembered. And he remembered what had been decreed against her, mida keneged mida, measure for measure. On Shabbos, she would make them come and do work for her. So on Shabbos, she was put to death. She made them come unclothed. Achashverosh wanted her to come unclothed also. It was direct mida keneged mida. It was direct measure for measure. The way Hashem does things in the world, and he does things measure for measure. That's the way it conducts things. If something happens to a person, he doesn't really appreciate, so he can pay attention to what that thing that happened to him, and he can see mida keneged mida. Maybe there's something he did wrong that's very similar to what's happening bad to him. And that's how a person should look at all the things that happened to him. It's mida keneged mida. It's measure for measure. And that's what Achashverosh did. He saw that the same exact thing.
So remember, he had like a flash?
Flash? Yeah, he had a flash. He realized. He said the same exact thing that Vashti was doing to the Jewish girl. The same exact thing that Vashti was doing to the Jewish girls. Another person needs medicine. The same exact thing that Vashti was doing to the Jewish girls. That's what happened to her. And so he saw that Hashem was not going to give him permission to cause any damage to the Jewish people. And at that point, he laid low. He said, I'm not going to do anything against the Jews. And this is the big difference between a regular anti-Semite and someone from Amalek. Yeah, come put the things away. You'll be able to pay attention to me. I know, okay. It's always important. Right. But the regular anti-Semite, a regular Jew hater, if he sees, we wanted to have a special one just for you. Okay, come on. Yeah, we have okay, here we go. A regular anti-Semite, that when he sees that by persecuting the Jewish people, he's going to lose out, he will stop persecuting. He will not persecute the Jewish people. But someone from Amalek doesn't care. Amalek says, even if it means my own death, I'm still going to try to kill the Jewish people. The thing is that the Arabs, the Palestinians are a whole different thing. The Arabs are from Yishmael. Abraham had two sons, Yitzchak. The Jews came from Yitzchak, and Yishmael. The Arabs came from Yishmael. And Yitzchak had two sons. He had Yaakov and Esav. Esav became the Romans. Esav created the nation of Edom. The nation of Edom became the nation of Rome. And Rome converted to Christianity. So the progenitors, the spiritual influence of the Christians is from Esav. And the Arabs are from Yishmael. Now Esav had a grandson. And the grandson's name was Amalek. Amalek, the concretation of the hatred of Esav is found inside of Amalek. And Amalek hates the Jewish people. He takes the hatred of his Zaidi, of his grandfather, and he hates the Jews with such a might that you can't even imagine the hatred, even if it means their own death.
Right.
And you see that when they came into Mitzrayim. I'm reading. This is based on what you said, so I hope you're hearing this. When the Jews came into Mitzrayim, the whole world empire, the Egyptian empire, was destroyed. The nation that attacked the Jewish people was Amalek. Even though they knew they were going to lose, they were going to get killed, they didn't care. The hatred of the Jews was so great.
We hate Amalek.
I don't know if it's a mitzvah to hate Amalek, but it's a mitzvah to destroy Amalek. It's a mitzvah to destroy the memory of Amalek.
Is it a metaphor? or
What?
is it-
No, it's a real thing. I just want to say, based on what you just said, I want to say, based on what you said, what is Amalek? Amalek is that when someone decides to do something good in life, and he gets a whole group of people to go along, we're going to do better. We're going to follow Hashem's mitzvahs. Yes? I feel like I'm in the Central Park Zoo here. And we're going to follow Hashem's mitzvahs. And then one guy does something that makes a joke that insults the guy who's trying to lead everybody to do the right thing. The first guy who does something to get people not to listen, it says to erase the memory of Amalek. What's the memory of Amalek? That when someone comes and tries to spoil, when someone's doing something good, that's Amalek. Because the Jewish people are riding high. They came out of Mitzrayim. The whole entire world was afraid of them. And Amalek came and attacked them. And even though they were killed, they cooled it off. And everyone else, now it felt it was a little bit better, it was a little bit okay to be able to attack the Jewish people. Yes?
What war? When did this occur that Amalek attacked the Jews?
Right after they came out of Mitzrayim, right after they came out of Egypt,
How did they die?
Amalek, they lost because Yoshua ben Nun was the leader of the war. And Moshe Rabbeinu was on the mountain. He had his arms up, had Amunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when he had his arms up, everyone else had Amunah in Hashem, faith in Hashem. Whenever they had faith in Hashem, Hashem made them victorious. When their faith in Hashem became weak, so they started losing. It was a battle of Emunah. But what I'm trying to say is based on what you said right now and based on what you said, that the Gemara says that the nation of Amalek is a nation called Germania. Yes? And Rav Yaakov Emden, yes, with me? You have to hear this one. Yeah, you with me? Rav Yaakov Emden, who lived 150 years before Nazi Germany, he said the nation of Germania is the nation of Ashkenaz, which is the nation of Germany. Yes? So he's saying Amalek, the one who hates the Jewish people, that their hatred is so great that even if it means their own destruction, they would still try to kill the Jewish people. The Gemara is saying openly is the nation of Germany.
I'm Ashkenaz.
Yeah, but Ashkenaz, but Ashkenaz means Germany, it means Austria.
It means the whole.
But when Yaakov Endem,
Alexander?
hold on one second. When Yaakov Endem wrote the nation Ashkenaz, he meant that that's how they referred to the German Goyim at that time. That's how he called them. Yes, what do you want to say?
These ISIS people that bore
Well, one second. We'll talk about it in a second. We'll talk about it in a second. What do you want to say?
Oh, did it mean specifically Hitler or it meant the whole?
It's Hitler is a reincarnation of Haman. Hitler is Haman. Yes? When Haman, I don't know him. But
How can someone say such a thing?
because
So what?
it seems that I'll tell you why I based on it. It's a good question. Why I based it.
Honestly,
We said first. We said
I'll tell you
Germany.
straight up
Yeah.
why I don't believe this, 'cause I
Yeah.
don't believe in reincarnation.
What? Oh, but that's a real thing, though.
I
That's
don't
a real
believe that
thing.
you have, like, I believe that everyone has their own soul.
Can I speak to you honestly? Everyone has their own neshama. That's right. But we go
Tell
through
me
many.
that maybe,
Not maybe.
maybe I have Moshe Rabbeinu's soul.
Can I speak to you honestly?
Or whoever his.
Can I speak to you honestly?
whoever
Yes.
Someone from that
Can I speak
generation.
to you? I hear what you're saying, but we know for a fact that one neshama goes from one lifetime to another. We know we have sources that say that when a person goes to the next world, Hashem says, and this is what you accomplished. We know we have a soul. Yes, I don't believe in the next world, the person says. Now it's the easiest to believe in heaven than any other time in history. Because since 1970, there's been 30 million people who died and came back to life. And each one who died says the same exact thing that we say in a Gemara is what happens when a person dies.
Right.
They go through the same description.
Nothing different.
The neshama goes up there, they see a beautiful light, the most beautiful light in the world, and then something happens, and there's a decision that they should not die, and they come back to life, and they get a second chance.
Rebbe, there's a goal.
Can I just say honestly, my own, I shouldn't say
That's
this.
not
I'm
what
not
I'm
going to say.
saying.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I believe that.
Okay, so then now you see that the soul is a real thing.
I don't doubt. I believe that I have soul. I believe everyone has a soul.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. I just don't believe that. Basically, I believe that each person has their own soul. Not like
But what you're
1,000
saying,
years ago, this
when I'm,
person had the same soul. as
when
you.
I'm, but when you say, this is, but what you're saying is, it's not a question of believing. David, it's not a question of believing, right? It's a question of that this is the truth. This is what happens.
It's always
And
a question of believing.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Either something is true or it's
It's
not
like-
true. Either Hashem is there or Hashem is not there. I believe in Hashem, so that there's a Hashem. I don't believe in Hashem, so there is no Hashem. It's not true. Either Hashem is there, he's not there. It's not a question. Either neshamas are reincarnated or they're not. It's nothing to do with believing. Either it's true or it's not true. Yes? If I believe the souls are reincarnated, so they're reincarnated. You don't believe, so it does. It's not true. Either it's true or it's not true.
Right, but there's no way to know that for a fact. It's like,
Okay, so the thing is like this: there are many documentary things. As much as these things can be documented, can I? Me first. That many times that they take the person will hypnotize a person and can take a person back to previous lifetimes. The person's speaking languages that the person himself doesn't know. He's speaking Old French. You know, you can bring someone here, hypnotize you, and you can bring the person back to previous lifetimes. In addition, don't hold on the thought, don't lose it. In addition, we know through Svarim, we see through Svarim that when a person goes to the next world and Hashem makes a decision, Hashem says to the person, "This is what you accomplished in your lifetime. This is what you need. This is the life we recommend that you go into. These are the things that are going to happen to you in your lifetime that will bring about to your tikkun, what you have to do to be able to perfect yourself. Do you agree to go into this life, to this lifetime?" And the person says, "Yes, I do. I will do it." And when a person goes to the next world, the first thing he's going to realize is that the blinders are going to be removed, and a person is going to see that he's a universal person, stretching over many lifetimes. Nobody here has been born for the first time. We're not even what the whole expression you said that we're whole neshamas is not even true. We're not born physically. For your body, your neshama, your soul inside of you has gone through many lifetimes.
I heard a thing that only like women they have their own soul. Some rabbi told me this one time.
When a person, okay, it's not nation because it's all things, they're all sources. No one's saying anything. Yes, a woman is usually 99% of the time is born again as a woman. A man is usually born as a man. A Jew is a Jew and a non-Jew is a non-Jew. Even though sometimes there are exceptions. Yes, sometimes if there's a Jewish person who went off the derech, he went against Hashem, he didn't keep the Torah, so Hashem might put his neshama next time in the body of a guy. His mission in life is to find his way back and become a ger and convert to Judaism. Yes.
You know you're saying about documentary?
Yeah.
It was recorded that these two twins that died, right? In 1920 and in 1930, the family had twins. They weren't named the same. They played with the same toys. They remembered their previous parents. They showed them because the town knew that there was something up because they acted the same. They looked exactly alike. They wanted the same toys that they used to play with.
Yeah.
And when they passed, they used to pass the house. They would say, "That's where I live. That's where I live." And this is really creepy because there's pictures in 1930s them, and it's creepy looking.
So there are many documentary things like this, but we understand that. If I do a creative writing thing, and I say that Hitler is a reincarnation of Haman, I'm saying, and an educated guess, that first of all we have sources from the Gemara that Germany is the nation of Amalek. We said the nation of Amalek is the nation that hates the Jews so much they would want their own destruction, even if they're going to lose their own lives. And we see that the Nazis themselves, when it was obvious that they were going to lose the war, a year before the moment America entered the war, if you go to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, so on the first floor there's this gigantic map that charts the 7 to 8 different maps of charting how Germany conquered at what time and how they started losing. They went to a certain when America, they started shrinking to the last map is like half of Berlin, the half that Hitler was in. So they knew they were losing, but they didn't care. They kept on fighting because they wanted to fight as long as they could to kill as many Jews as they could. And they would take the trains that the soldiers needed to fight America and to fight Great Britain. They took those trains and brought them to transfer the Jewish people from the ghettos to the gas chambers, because the war against the Jew was the most important war. And even though it meant their own destruction, their own death, they were still fighting to the very end. Now this is the punchline. This is the whole punchline.
What are those?
David, ready?
Yeah.
David, you'll really enjoy this. In 1948, shh, you with me? It's too much. It's too much. 1948, thank you. That there was a war of independence, the Jews against the Arabs. You with me? Hello. David, I'm trying to say this for you.
Yes,
I really
it's a
am.
war of Arabs.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
listening.
But you're distracting me, so I think you're distracted too. The thing is like this, that the Arabs are from Yishmael. Yet we have Palestinians who have no problem taking suicide belts, strapping it to themselves, going into a pizzeria, going into a movie theater, a disco, going into a shopping mall, and blowing themselves up. They will kill themselves as long as they get to kill other Jewish people, which does not seem like Ishmael, it does not seem like a regular anti-Semite, it seems like a Molech. But how can it be? They're from Ishmael. So there were documents.
What you're saying is Shmuel would not kill Jews?
The Ishmael would,
Okay.
but we said the difference between a regular anti-Semite, we said, and a Molech is the Achashverosh and Haman. The moment Achashverosh saw the jig was up, Hashem's going to protect the Jewish people. You know, I see how it happened. So he laid low. I'm not going to do anything. But Haman, who's from Amalek, didn't care. He said, let's go weiter. I'll do the whole thing myself. I don't need your help. Even though it meant his own destruction, he was going weiter all the way against the Jewish people. Yeah?
What's the deal?
I just want to, can I finish this punchline?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me just finish this punchline. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, you ready? Guys, don't lose me now. I'm going straight to Gan Eden. Ready? 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 I don't know why he did it.
I did something.
I don't know who. I don't know who it is.
Distracted you.
Yeah, come. Hold my hand, brother. We're friends now. Okay? Ready? Woo! Okay, now listen. Yeah, I'll say it again. David, please. Yeah, ready? So the point is like this. We said that with the Palestinians blowing themselves, or taking their own children, put suicide belts on their own children, said, bye, have a nice day at school, and afterwards make sure you go and blow yourself up, you know, like this. So, you know, something's sick here. This is not normal. This is a simon of Amalek. It's not a simon of a regular anti-Semite. So what happened is they had secret documents that in the War of Independence, the British allowed 1,000 of the Wehrmacht German soldiers, the greatest fighting force, to come into Palestine, to infiltrate, to dress up as Arabs, and to fight with the Arabs against the Jewish people. And the War of Independence lasted for a year and a half. And while those German men are there, you know that they're having relations, euphemism, with the Palestinian women there. And I missed at one point. If a mother's a Jew, because I left out a point. When the mother's a Jew and the father's not a Jew, what's the child? A Jew. If the father is a German, the Jewish people go according to the mother. But in pedigree, as far as non-Jews are concerned, they go according to the father. So we said Germany is Amalek, and the Arabs are Yishmael. But if a German father marries a woman from Yishmael, who is the child? The German. If the father is Amalek, and the mother is Yishmael, the child is Amalek. These Palestinians who are able to put suicide belts on themselves, to put suicide belts on their children, to send them and to blow up to blow themselves up, to blow up their own children, they're not from Yishmael, they're from Amalek. Yes?
I don't understand. These Germans, I thought they were destroyed after the World War II.
The German nation is still there.
I'm saying, but the soldiers.
Ones that came over to Eretz Yisrael?
Yeah, there was no German
Doesn't
army
matter.
after the World War II.
But they had 1,000 of the Wehrmacht men, their documents that were finally leaked. that the Britain allowed them to come into Palestine to fight alongside with the Arabs, to dress up as the
But
Arabs.
they weren't
I mean, they
killed
should just have.
during
Even if they
World
were
War II.
killed, they still impregnated the women
That's what
there.
I'm saying, but they
Yeah.
weren't killed during World War II, right?
No, not everybody is killed.
Most of the German soldiers.
Yeah, but not everybody is. Not every. There's still a German nation, isn't
Right.
there?
It's true.
Okay.
Isn't
Yeah.
it weird? Us being here today means that our great grandparents had kids. They had kids. Then they had kids. And now it's our turn.
Okay.
We're all the way from.
Okay.
The
So I'm
beginning.
gonna stop now. We went through a lot of different things. Yes. And see you later. Okay, you can turn it off. Shem